Left Wing Kingz. Listen, think, act, repeat.
The new school of women's basketball has arrived in a big way. Phenomenons like Caitlin Clark, JuJu Watkins, and Angel Reese have elevated the game with their exceptional skills and have brought a surge of new fans to the sport. The movement is drawing millions of spectators to the sport, and viewership is going through the freaking roof right now. So, Ace, what's causing a mass appeal for women's basketball?
Star power. Just what you said, man. They got stars now. I mean, I think, a lot of people don't realize, man, the WNBA's been out for a while. It's been out there for a minute. But if you go through the history of basketball, the NBA went through the same metamorphosis. They started off. It used to be where you couldn't see NBA only at night telecast. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't even see it live back in the late 70s, early 80s. You know what I'm saying? Then what happened is they got star power. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson came out and bought them star power and went into Jordan, and the rest is history. You know what I'm saying? And that's still what drives the NBA today. When we tune into games, we tune in, we have our teams, but we tune in to see the stars. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. To see the people play. You know what I'm saying? So the WNBA or women's basketball have now arriving into the era where they're starting to have stars that people can identify to and gravitate to, and shows interest in the game. So that's where we're at right now with women's basketball, and I'm loving every minute of it. I'm enjoying it.
Exactly. That Caitlin Clark, and I'll be honest. I watch basketball. I like men's, and I've never really catered to looking at the women's basketball. When you start hearing about Reese and Caitlin Clark and what she's doing, filling the stands, breaking records. I mean, she broke the record for the most 3 points, I guess, in the season. So you think of Steph Curry. So I think you now have that alignment. Like, you look at your men's basketball and you're like, these women are rising up to the level of athleticism as the men. And I think that definitely is driving an interest. They're filling stands, they're selling tickets more for up to $11,000, I believe, as far as that is concerned. So when people start, I'm going to use my money to go see these people, then it starts to, create that interest, and everybody else is kind of jumping on the bandwagon now. So
yeah, I agree with that. Mm-hmm. I think in both of your cases, I agree. The star power is big. It's also kind of big that we got like their athleticism has changed a lot. Like, I think that in my mind is even more than the star power, because I think there was star power like with people like Cheryl Swoops, Tina Thompson, Lisa Leslie. Mm-hmm. They had star power, but when girls played back in the day, it's girls playing, and there wasn't the same athleticism. Now, Caitlin Clark is pulling up threes from like wherever, like Steph. I was watching a game last night. Girl from one of the teams, man, she was just athletic as hell, like spinning off the backboard, jumping, double pumping and double clutching. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, these girls is balling like dudes now. So I think it's a combination of the two things, because the star power is higher because, to your point, like social media makes stars. We got people you never heard of who came up through social media now. Yeah. So social media can make you a superstar now. Mm-hmm. And then I think the athleticism that they show is contributed to it as well.
Well, think about the NBA game now. And I think that has a lot to contribute to, and hear me out. The NBA game is now boistered from the 3-point line. Right. That's shooting. Statistically, girls shoot better than boys. Mm-hmm. Hell, we just had the 3-point shootout in the All-Star game. I think her name was Sabrina Ionu. Mm-hmm. Went against Steph Curry. She shot from the men's line, and she gave him a run for his money.
Mm-hmm. And that's Q.
Yeah, and that's Q. I can't say it. I appreciate it.
You got it.
Goddamn New York team. You know what I'm saying? But either way it goes, man, she gave him a run of his money. Now, Steph Curry, he just so happens probably the best 3-point shooter ever played a game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So with the NBA game elevating to more of a skills fundamental 3-point game, to the point where back when Cheryl Swoops was out, Candace Parker was out. Back when what's my girl Reggie Miller's sister? Cheryl Miller was out. Even Don Staley, which coaches South Carolina. Stars, like you said in your name, but the NBA game was different. Mm-hmm. We never thought the girls had the physical game of the 90s. Girls can't never play that. They're not gonna high rise and dunk and see the things we want to see. Now everybody want to see how many threes you can sink. Girls
Right.
can do that all day long. So with the transformation of that game, along with the stars that they have, I mean, now is the time for the women's game to elevate and be where it is.
Exactly. And lastly, let's applaud the media because now media is giving the coverage. NCAA signed a contract with ESPN this year, and guess who they, were basically honoring for is the women's basketball. Because normally you don't see women's basketball on certain channels. You see men's basketball on every channel, but now what you see, you turn every channel, and now you're seeing women as well. So giving them that spotlight too. So applaud out to the media. It's actually helping with that disparity with men and women's sports.
Yeah. So Caitlin Clark is the big name right now. So what what type of impact has Caitlin Clark had on women's basketball?
I mean, her capability to shoot from anywhere, from distance, accurately and consistently, change is just bringing attention to the girls' game, and and once again, because it's just like the men's game, that's just what the game is now. I think in her demeanor, I think she's kind of taking this on. You know what I mean? Like she's really like knowing who she is in the moment. And with that being said, it's affected the game, and it's elevating it to where it should be. You know what I'm saying? It's basketball. You know what I'm saying? It's I'm almost to the point where, and I can't say it, but yeah, it may grow to a point where like you got a girl on a roster. You know what I'm saying? Now, are we there yet? Nah. But Caitlin Clark makes you think that, like, okay, well, I mean, there's probably some places on the NBA where she could, fit in, coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Microwave, just straight shots. You know what I'm saying? So it's now she might get backed up in the lane though. Somebody might post her up. It's a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But other than that, man, I mean, she's opened up the possibility of wow, with these girls shooting like this. And like I said, shooting from distance, shooting from men's distances. Like, yeah, well, not even men's distance, from long distance. She's shooting from the logo, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? I can barely shoot a free throw. You know what I'm saying? And she's pulling up from the logo and hitting. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, she's definitely changing the game.
Yeah, she's they have the Caitlin Clark effect. So she actually has a dubbed phrase because of her power to influence. She has over 1 million followers on Instagram, whether they're male and female. So I just think as far as how she can articulate what she wants and what she's expecting from the game. And for, like you said, she's out there champion for women, to get into the spotlight there. So I like the fact that she's going to school, doing her thing, you know what I mean? Like doing her thing on the court and off the court. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of kids now, little girls who look up to her, and that they not only are inspired to play in sports because they see her, but they're inspired to like follow their dreams and think big and have big aspirations for whatever it is that they can do. So I think she's impacting women's basketball, to both of your points, but I think she's also just impacting society as a whole and helping to prove that women can do things just as well as men can.
Yeah, she's doing some powerful things, and she's being a good ambassador to it.
Yes.
Like I said, it's a lot of negativity that shined on here and naysayers and stuff like that, and she's handled it. But I think once again, she notices how this is probably even bigger than her on what she's doing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just interested in seeing how this goes. They say Ice Cube offered a $5 million to play Big Three.
Right.
I hope she does that. I hope the WNBA realizes they need to play her, so she ain't gotta go to Europe and play and get paid. You know what I'm saying? And she can bring some shine to the league, and these women can start getting paid. My argument always, when we used to have the argument about men and women's basketball, was you just don't have to draw. Till you get a LeBron James, women aren't gonna get paid as much. I mean, it's just an economical thing. It's not really
a gender
thing. It's really just that you didn't have to draw. More people gonna watch, LeBron James play basketball than they were, Candace Parker. You know what I'm saying? Just facts.
Right.
Well, I mean, I think they have the draw now.
Yeah.
And part of that draw comes from the rivalry between Caitlin and Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. So is that good for the game, their rivalry, or
That was
not?
great for the game, I think. I mean, like I said, we've seen this story before. We saw the Magic Bird thing, and let's be honest. In the '80s, that caused a racial divide. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't even a Lakers fan and rooted for the Lakers back then. You know what I'm saying? It's just that was prime time. That was where it was at, and you kind of picked your spots. And Black America went with Magic, White America went with Bird and the Celtics, and that was played. It was similar here. It was similar here, kind of, sort of. You know what I'm saying? A lot of white people were rooting for Iowa. A lot of black people rooting for LSU. You know what I'm saying? But all in the name of sports. You know, it's lovely sometimes when we work out our racial differences and it's just on the basketball court. You know what I'm saying? Or we root on that, and that's where the game is. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But it brought attention to the sport and attention to the game, and and as long as it doesn't have to get out of hand like some of these idiots on the internet wanted to do, it's all in fun and it's all good. So I mean, I enjoyed it. I hate that Angel Reese kind of got hurt and we didn't get the performance out of her that we wanted at the end. But no, it's good. It's good for the game.
Exactly. Everybody loves drama. Come on. That's what y'all watch on TV all day. So anytime that you drive that type of energy, you're going to get it. And just to let you know, they did grow an audience. It was averaging 9.9 million, and now they're at 12.6 million. So just truth in the numbers.
That's
like, of course, it's a lot of people. And just like you said, I think with everything going on politically, it just creates for good TV. And just to let y'all know, they're actually friends, but it creates for good TV. So, the more drama, the better. More people come out there and watch and want to see what the drama's about. And so it's obviously creating more viewership. And that's the point, to bring attention, to generate more money for these women.
Yeah, and I think I think the media kind of helped to push that narrative as well. Like as soon as Caitlin Clark did the little hand wave, like the ring thing,
right.
John
and then
Cena.
Angel Reese did the thing right back. It became like an opportunity for the media to say, we got this rivalry now. Let's blow this up. And like you said, Ace, I mean, very keen observation. The great white hope in a black sport. You know what I'm saying? Versus the black queen, the black Barbie. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Barbie.
You know what I'm saying? Bayou Barbie versus Caitlyn. And then they clashing heads. It was just like a perfect mix at that time. And people love the story. People are, it's really helped to blow up the whole, women's sports thing. But they have to take advantage of this momentum and keep it going. Yeah. And I don't know. We'll find out soon. I know I watched last night. I watched both games last night. And I'm going to tell you, I was into both games. I don't know if everybody is going to continue to follow it the same way that they followed Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark, but maybe just seeing that brought even more people. I don't know. So we'll see. But I think to your point and both of your points, it's good for the game. It's definitely good because to your point, that's how the NBA started to blow up. Yeah. There was a rivalry. Next thing you know, boom, it exploded, Magic Bird. And then they really focus on those things in the NBA. Pistons, Bulls, Celtics, Lakers. They still try to find that today. They looking, I don't know if it exists today, but they looking for those two teams that are rivals. They always looking for that because that helps to generate interest.
Yeah. John Jay versus Holmes.
John Jay versus Holmes. Get the hell out of here. What I love about the rivalry is that there is no rivalry with the like button. All you got to do is love it, click it, hug it, and do what you do. And don't forget to subscribe to Left Wing Kingz and share our content on all of your social media platforms out there. All right. So let me see if we got any questions real quick. I didn't really see any on there. I see our friend Danielle Hamilton's on the line. She's chilling with us. She says hi, and she says she's proud of us. So thank you, Danielle. Appreciate you, girl. All right. So how can we continue to elevate women's basketball to ensure it receives the recognition that it deserves?
Hey, man, the NBA, man, those are some smart guys over there, man. And out of a lot of the sports leagues, the NBA knows how to market. And like you said, they've been down this road before. So I want to say that the WNBA is going to find a way, if these two girls get drafted, if that makes sense, and it'd be smart if they do it. It'd be smart if they make these girls millionaires, and find a way to segue that and market it and put it out there. I mean, that's with shoe contracts. Right. That's with, probably rolling on the whole women empowerment thing. Definitely, just getting behind and putting their whole machine of marketing behind it and making it work. And I think that they'll foster the same results if they stay with the momentum, just like you said. If they roll into the women's draft, probably right now and blow that up. If they roll into the season and they blow up the matchups, like you say, they get TV contracts and they get the pub for it. I don't see why it wouldn't happen. Like I said, the NBA this falls right into their wheelhouse. So we should see something come off of it. The only thing that I can see is if the money's not right, one of them goes to Europe or something. They never actually get to play with each other, and it kind of dies down and waiting for that next big momentum to come. But if they go off of what they have now, because the good thing is not only do they have these, they got other people. They got JuJu and all them behind them.
Boy.
Plus, they already have people in the league.
Right.
So if they can marry that together and make it work and start building some of these rivalries and maybe really pushing toward viewership, because hands down, I'm an Aces fan. That's my team right there. You know what I'm saying? So the Aces has been running things in the WNBA. You know what I'm saying? So if they start building that up, these girls start competing there, and then you start getting all of that going, you got the interest that you need. Plus, it's at a time that we need something to look at on TV anyway. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm just excited, man, to see what's going to happen with it.
Yeah, definitely agree with the enhanced marketing efforts and promoting these role models, looking at their accomplishments, putting that information out there. The other big thing, and we talk about all the time again, is the disparity between men and women and equal pay in their resources. So just like you said, they will leave if they don't receive their equal pay. They can't stay around here. They want to feed family too, and definitely be compensated for those accomplishments. And I would say the last thing would be investment in the infrastructure and the building, the things that they actually, as far as practice in. You know what I'm saying? They looked at that, the comparison to male and females facilities. Let's give them what they're worth. Give them what they're worth. So they've proven themselves.
That's a great point. And I wanted to touch on that, like with what challenges still exist in achieving the gender parity in basketball. How do we address it? Like you said, pay is one thing, and facilities and, whatever the case may be. But how can they address those things? To Ace's point earlier, in order to pay more, you got to have more endorsements. You got to have more more in your contracts. So what can they do to get that gender parity in basketball?
I think corporate America has to partner up with the WNBA just like they do with the NBA. But I think they kind of got that a little bit, But I think the formula of kind of putting an NBA team in certain situations, like some of the locations, you'll have an NBA team and you have a WNBA team, and they'll kind of, piggyback off of that or whatever the case may be. I think that still may work. But then in some situations, like the Aces, they went to a location where they didn't have an NBA team. Right. And maybe that's the situation. You could put a team somewhere where there's not an NBA team. You get local businesses and corporations to invest in it. Then you can start meeting some of the monetary demands and the parity for it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if viewership goes up. You know what I'm saying? If they start landing big TV contracts, because now they know that in the NBA, and they're hoping that they're going to have the Angel Reese Caitlin Clark rivalries going on. You know what I'm saying? A lot that worked with Magic and Bird is both their teams went to the championship every year. You know what I'm saying? But if Caitlin Clark get on a team that ain't never going to win no championship, or Angel Reese, the other one, you're never going to have those rivalries to kind of build up and get the interest in it. So they're going to have to do things to generate the income so they can meet the financial differences and disparities in it, so they can go out and get the practice facilities built. They can get the private jets and stuff like that. But the demand has to come. That's just being realistic about it. It's not like they're drawing as much money and they're not getting paid what they're worth, but they're doing the same load. Simple fact is, if you were to compare them to an NBA game to a WNBA game, they're not there yet in draws. So until they get there, you can't really see where the salaries are going to be different. Now, you may have one or two now, like Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese, because they are the people that have similar or similar salaries like NBA players, but it's not going to be league wide, not yet. You know what I'm saying? Not until they catch up.
Right. And I think what the answer is to that is breaking the barriers of those biases and perceptions of women's athleticism and their draw to the entertainment. So we have to look at why are they not getting paid? So if we break those perceptions that they're not as athletic as men, and as we see, these games are very, very entertaining once you watch them. So I think we need to first tackle that part, is just breaking the perception that they're just not as athletic or they don't have the ability to be entertaining, which we all see that's not true.
Yeah. So I will add to both of those points because I think that they're very valid. But when I start to think about, like you said, athleticism and, proving that they're athletic, well, example, they don't always have to have everything the same to prove that they're athletic. So what I mean by that is this. In baseball, the men's mound is further back. The men throw the ball overhand. In softball, where women play, the mound is closer. They pitch underhand, right? They do things different because of their gender. Even in basketball, why is the 3-point line closer for women than it is for men? You know what I'm saying? Why not add to that? If you want to show their athleticism, bring the rim down. Maybe 9.5 feet, 9 feet. Something where, okay, I know that they shoot more threes now, but why not get them dunking up in this? Because I love seeing a good dunk every now and then too. It's not all about shooting threes. To me, that the 3-point field goal has kind of changed the game in a way that it's less physical, and even the rules have done the same thing, right? But I like seeing dunking, and I'm pretty sure these girls can get up and get down with the ball if you were to do something and move the rim. They move the 3-point line, they move the mound in baseball. They can do other things to bring the draw in to make people want to see their athleticism. So that's just one way that I think of when I think about that.
No, you're absolutely right. And I'm thinking almost the opposite way on it. Let's move the 3-point line out. Let's eliminate the whatever the line is now. These girls are shooting from there anyway. You know what I'm saying? Right. And we already saw in the All-Star game that, hey,
she can hang. Right.
Well, not even she can hang.
She can hang.
Statistics show you girls shoot better from distance. Right. They just do. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. And with the game being what it is, put it out there. Hell, put a 4-point shot in there. I don't know.
Yeah,
something. But there, hands down, and the backup of Malik saying is things that the league can do to make the game different, make the game exciting. That's outside of what the players can do. But I think they have what they need right now to go with the momentum and make those changes to make it work. So yeah, like I said, once again, I'm just excited to see where they're going to go with it.